everyone, Kelly Dean Allen here with you once again with my walk through the years classic rock guitar tutorials starting in 1960. We're now up to 1966 and there are basically two songs, both released in 1966, that pretty much kick-started the whole psychedelic rock era that would pretty much dominate rock music during the latter half of the 60s. The Byrds, 8 Miles High, and the track that we'll be looking at today, Shape of Things by the Yardbirds with the legendary Jeff Beck on guitar. Their first big self-penned hit and one of the band's most well-known tracks. And it's my pick for the tutorial for 1966. That's it. Let's close in and get started, shall we? Good then, Shape of Things, the Yardbirds from 1966. We are in standard tuning for this tutorial, and probably the most difficult part of this entire song, minus the solo, is the first two bars. So we're starting with an F major bar chord here. We're basically just working on the bottom 3 or 4 strings. We are going to downpick this about as fast as we can for 2 full bars. We're going to move it into G for the start of the first verse. If you cannot downpick that fast, just alternate strum it, right? Sounds fine. And then we move it into G for the first verse. So when we get into G, we're just going to go from G to F 3 times, a bar of each, and striking the chord on the beat. Very choppy, very staccato. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right back into that F again, right? For 2 more bars of downstroking, right? And then right back into G again. 3 times. G to F. And again. And then we're into the chorus. So the chorus is basically the same thing. We're going to go down to C now, a C bar chord here, 4 middle strings. Same pattern, right? Bum, 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 bum. Very choppy, very staccato on the beat for 1 bar, and then off to B flat at the first fret position 3 times. And to finish, going to hit that B flat twice, bam, bam, then move it into D, hit the D, let it ring, right, and that's the end of the chorus. We drop right back into G again for the next verse. Off to F, right? Three times. Stay in F. Repeat again, right? Drop into another chorus, C, B flat, C, B flat, C, B flat, B flat, B flat, D. Now, I like playing it here. You can certainly play it up here with the major chords, right? C off to B flat. Right? And then let's drop into a D there, or, you know, drop into a D cowboy chord if you like. And that leads into the guitar solo by Jeff Beck. Goes a little something like this. Solo, you do that B flat twice again to D, right? Distorted D power chord at that point. So we're soloing in G. We're using the G mixolydian scale. The entire solo takes place on the G string. G mixolydian on the G string. Right there. Open 2, 4, 5. 7, 9, 10, 12, right? And we're going to get up to 14 as well. So we're going to start 10, 12 into 14 of the G. It's all in the G, like I said. So when you get onto that 14, you're going to raise it a full step, quick release, and then re-raise it a step and a half. And then pick it at the top, release it off to 12, right back onto 14 into a full step bend with vibrato. Right? Now we're going to pick this again, release it off to 12, onto 14, back to 12, and then right back onto 14 again. And then you're going to raise that 14 a half step, release it, and then re-raise it a step and a half. And then off to 12, right? Now, when you release off to that 12, you're immediately going to back up to 10, hammer back onto 12, and then back up to 8 onto 10, and then off to 7. Kind of like that. There's overdubs going on here. I'm kind of combining two guitar parts into one. But up to that point. Right back into 12. Just a little full step bend, release off to 10, back onto 12, right? Then we're into this little scale run right down the Mixolydian. So we're going to start here with a little bend release of that 14 off to 12, back to 14. And then we're going to start doing little trills and then back it up one spot in the scale. Until you get to the 4, right? So you do the trill, back it up, do the trill, back it up, right? And when you get to the 4, you're going to go 5 onto 7, slide it into 9. And then we finish the solo with this. So 10 off to 9, back to 10, and then you're going to move it up to 12, do the same thing, 12 off to 10, back to 12, and then move it up to 14, off to 12, back to 14. And then you're going to do a little double bend of that 14 off to 12 twice, right? And then when you get off to the 12 at this point, you're going to do little double hits for about 2 bars. Kind of like that, right? Right into that B flat, into D, and then we just drop right into another verse. Same as all the others, right? So let's recap that solo. Into another verse. 3 times, right? Final time you go off to F. And then after you repeat that for 2 bars, right? All that downstroking, you go back into G. And then you just hit it once, and then there's delay that carries it, right, as it fades out. And there you go. That is how you play Shape of Things by the Yardbirds. Certainly hope you enjoyed that, found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button right down there. Maybe drop me a subscribe if you haven't done that already, as that would be very kind. Hope you're well out there, and we will see you next time. Cheers.